Hello, this is Robert speaking. Thank you so much for clicking on this video for homework 2 of regression analysis. Thank you so much for being here. So anyways, I think it's about time that we get started. So one very important idea about regression, one very important topic that I didn't really have click with me until very recently is like the deeper understanding of variance and error in the model. I didn't I knew that most models have some bias or variance, and I knew that you could minimize them. Furthermore, I did know that unchecked there could be devastating consequences. However, even especially with this homework in particular, exercise 5, I did not realize the effect that error could have in real time. Before it was really just a concept that I knew in name only. But running running this simulation over and over and seeing how individual predictors could be significant, but the model isn't, or vice versa, and how that could change from model to model. Because even see here, there are no significant predictors this time when it knitted, but that's beside the point. I didn't really realize just how much impact this could have running a simulation or any model really from a case by case basis. So I know exactly why I need to try and get it under control as much as I can. And that was very eye opening. And moving moving forward, I did not expect from the theory that I would have the kinds of results that I would. Like for example, I we if we can pull up the um, if we could pull up the variance matrix really quickly. Um, yes, here we go. I did not expect that the estimator of the variance of y given x would be sigma squared the hat matrix, because I didn't really it didn't really click with me that this is supposed to be an estimate of the identity matrix the entire time. It was very unexpected, and I think it's very lovely that I was able to find that out. In my applied work, I touching again on that variability, I didn't realize just how much that would be present in BI in the BMS or the spike slab algorithms. If we could, uh, yes, here we go. I didn't realize just how much. I didn't realize how the model could change even from predictor to predictor, but also from one model size to another in the time that it did. And it's very, I'm sorry, the words are escaping me. It reinforces that idea that the error and the variance of any model can have significant impacts on your result, that if you don't replicate, you might just end up running with it, and that would be very, very bad, generally speaking. And that's also that also plays into why AIC actually won out in my model in the competition, because in most cases it was a tie up, a toss up. I'm sorry, between AIC and BIC, and I didn't realize that the penalty of AIC versus the penalty of BIC, that still doesn't always account for the variance in certain cases. So again, you would have a lower RMSS, RSME. I'm so sorry, of AIC in this particular instance. Again, sometimes BIC was lower running multiple tests. multiple different trials. But that's that's why you have to keep an eye out. If you just ran with that, you would be in big trouble if you were to present these as definitive conclusions. And as a bit of a closing, I would like to say that but my biggest my biggest peak that I haven't yet conquered, it's easily our studio. I can wrap my head around the theory as much as I can. I can wrap my head around the actual like theory. No, not the theory. The workflow of picking out a model and such, but translating it over to R code is still very difficult for me, and really I don't really know yet how to be completely comfortable with it without pulling up a million different tabs. But I try and make do with what I can. And one thing that I found very enjoyable to master, in contrast, would be really understanding how a data matrix works, because it's really touching on what I used to see. I used to see data at large as just a black box. I could just look at it and be lost as to what it actually meant. But I feel like this class has been very illuminating in that aspect. Like I didn't know that an object such as a data matrix could be as interpretable as it was. And I once I trained my eye to see that way, it really started to click into place. And again, that's what regression was for me as well. I used to read studies, and when I got to the data, still had no idea what it even meant. But I feel like that skill has really been expounded upon, for, so to speak. And this class has been my first exposure to a lot of data techniques, and I hope it'll be the start of many, many more. I want to keep learning, and I want to keep being curious. Thank you so much. And oh, yeah. So I believe that the grade I would be getting would be around a 70. I did I did stumble with a lot of the homework, a lot of the theory, and you can even see it's very late at night. I was on a big crunch to get all this done because for a while I was kind of just running in place. But I'm here now and I want to keep learning, and I can't wait for you to finally see these results. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye.